Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. I am Krishnaswamy, located in Ashok Nagar, Chennai. Many of my friends and relatives have been asking me about my predictions for the year 2021 and Sani Perchi, Ragu Perchi, etc. There are two opinions in astrology. One is that astrology is superstition. There is another opinion that astrology is not a superstition, it's a science. I believe that astrology is not only a science, it's a divine science. There are so many verses in Rigvedam, Yajurvedam, Atharvana Vedam about astrology, planetary movements, and their effect on the earth. Even in Valmiki Ramayanam, there are so many references. And to give a few examples, in Aranyagandam, chapter 46, Sargam 46, it is said that Sita Devi, Ma Sita Devi is like a Rohini star, very noble lady. And when Mars or Saturn transit Rohini, there are a lot of calamities in the world. It is also mentioned that in Balagandam that when Lord Rama was born, he had 5 planets in exaltation. That indicates that he is a supreme being, and his nakshatram is stated to be Punarasu. The nakshatram of the other brothers are also stated. In addition to that, it is also stated that the superhero of Sundaragandam, say Hanuman is born in the star Moolam, Dhanur Rasi. In Srimad Bhagavatam also there are a lot of references to Jyotish Shastram. It is stated that God is born in the world in Rohini Nakshatram as Lord Krishna, and his Lagna means Rishabha Lagna. It is also stated that when Parikshit was born, King Yudhishthira, he called the astrologers at his court and asked them to make prediction. They gave a full lifetime prediction and said ultimately Parikshit will listen to Bhagavatam and reach the lotus feet of God. The king was very happy about all these predictions. In Mahabharatam also, it is stated that all the planets were in the southern hemisphere, and the nakshatram of the Pandavas and Kauravas is also given. It is stated that King Yudhishthira was born in the nakshatram Ketai, Vrishchiga Rasi. Then Arjunan is born in the nakshatram Puram, Purva Palguni. Bhiman, Duryodhanan, and Karnan. They were all born in Magha Nakshatram. It is also given that Nakulan and Sahadeva, they were born in the Nakshatram Ashwini. There are a lot of references about planetary positions in Mahabharata. Now that we know that the astrology is mentioned in Vedas and epics, it has been taken that it's a divine science. There are definite rules and principles which have to be applied in assessing the strength of different planets at the time of casting the horoscope, nakshatra, and all that. And based on these strength and weakness of different planets, predictions are made, and hence it is called science. It's also an art in the sense that some predictions will be general, and one has to apply the artistic sense to come to a conclusion. For example, if one prediction is that somebody will be serving food to so many people every day, either you could be a very rich man doing Annadhanam, or he could be a server in a 5-star hotel where there will be a lot of footfalls will be there. So astrology is science, and the science will have to be applied as an art according to the situation, according to whoever is the person's horoscope the astrologer is seeing. Not all times astrology proves successful. Sometimes it can fail also. That doesn't mean that there are defects in astrology. That means that there is some limitation on the knowledge of the knowledge and skill of the astrologer. This applies to all the sciences, all the professions. Even in medicine, we say that the operation succeeded. It is humorously said, operation is a success, but a patient failed. That doesn't mean that the doctor did not perform the operation correctly. The only thing is that possibly he did not diagnose the illness correctly. So whatever medicine he gave, whatever surgery he performed, did not give the desired result. Thus, there are difficulties in all the professions, and uh, just because there are some limitations, we cannot say that such a field, astrology, is not correct or something like that. Now, I can quote my own life when one prediction made by my staff proved to be 100% correct. Way back in 1980-81, I was working for UCO Bank in India Exchange Place branch, Calcutta. We had about 300 staff members there. One of my staff members by name Banerjee is very clever, very sincere person. Whatever work I assigned to him, he used to perform very well. And after completing the work, he used to open all his almanac and different jatagams and start assessing the jatagams. And some of the staff members used to come to him to have his advice on different matters. Seeing his capability and sincerity in Jyotisha Shastra, I was curious. I gave him my horoscope and requested him to predict for me. He told me four things, and all the four proved to be very accurate. That was in the year 1981. He said, I will go abroad and I will stay abroad for many years, and I will have surplus cash in my hand. In 1985, my bank conducted examination and interview for overseas posting. Out of 1100 aspirants, they selected 11 people, and I am one among them. So I got the overseas posting. At least this prediction, you can say that he knows that I am a very competent officer, and I am also a very qualified officer, and there are good chances for me to get overseas posting when the vacancies arise. But the second prediction is made is more amazing. He said, my wife will go for job, and she will give me regular monthly income. Actually, my wife is a homemaker. She is a graduate in history from Chhatrapati College, Madras University. She has no aptitude for going for a job. But then, when we were in Hong Kong, there was an opportunity for her to work in another bank. She took the opportunity, and she served both in Hong Kong and Singapore for about 3.5 years. So, second prediction also became correct. The third prediction he said was, when I returned back to India, he said I will have three sources of income. Actually, I had three sources of income also. I am getting income from cost audit. I am getting income from ISO audit and ISO consultancy. I am also getting fees from indirect taxation audit. The fourth prediction he made is incredible. He said, around the age of 60, I will have a major setback to my health. But he cautioned me, my life will not be affected, but there will be substantial reduction in quality of my life. Actually, I got into this neuro problem around the age of 60, and I was in bed for about 6 months. But later I recovered, and I am able to move around, but with a difficulty, and I have difficulty in flexing my fingers. So the quality of my life has substantially gone down. Thus, the predictions he made proved to be very accurate, and some of the predictions are for the much later future periods. Hence, astrology is actually a true science. But one difficulty is that when once you talk about the present, You can always lead a very happy life, utilizing the opportunities that come in your way, and facing the challenges with whatever strength you have. Life is easier. But when once you talk about tomorrow, the future, somebody is making a prediction, it cannot be always rosy. See, for example, Saturn is good only when he is in the third and sixth and 11th Rasi from your birth sign. That means only 3 rasis out of 12. When he is in the other 9 rasis, normally the protection is not that good. The same rule applies to Rahu and Ketu also. And in the case of Jupiter, he is good only in the 5th, 7th, and 9th house from your birth sign. In other houses, he may not give that good result. That means out of 12 signs, only 3 signs will have 100% good prediction. Possibly those who are having other signs, they will have something to worry about and something to be afraid of. So when it is tomorrow also, not today, a lot of false imaginations and false worries come. In this context, Mepatur Narayana Bhattacharya, he has given us what we have to do. He says in his Narayaniyam, the divine classic done in Guruvayur, he says in the 98th chapter, 11th sloka, he says, Durvaram Dvadasaram Trisata Parimilate Sakti Parva Bivitam Sambramyat Kruraveham Kshanamanu Jagada Chidya Sandavamanam Chakram Te Kalarupam Vyatayatu Natumam Tutpadeka Valabhyam Vishnu Karunya Sindho Pavana Parapate Pagi Sarva Mayogate. Bhattacharya says, Oh Vishnu, Guruvayurappa, ocean of mercy, please cure all my illness and save me from negative effects of movement of your chakram. He says, Chakramte Kalarupam. Your chakram is actually the time machine, the form of Kala, time machine, and it has 12 arams, Durvaram, Dvadasa aram. It has got Trisata Parimilate Sakti Parva Bivitam. It has got 360 edges. But he is referring to 12 zodiac signs and 360 days. And he says, Chakram Te Kalarupam, it moves at a very cruel speed. And whatever negative effect, oh Guruvayurappa, I bow down to your feet. Kindly say me. In the same way, all of us should also bow down to lotus feet of the God and pray to God to remove all our fears and cure all our illness and save us from whatever difficulties on account of transitory planets. Having said that, I want to talk about not only predictive astrology, I will talk in detail about predictive astrology also. In addition to that, I also want to talk about so many unique combinations in the celestial bodies and divine bodies, which give us rare moments to perform so many anushthanams in the earth and get maximum good result. And when you look at the night sky, it is so magnificent, so many luminous bodies. It's a miracle. And the greater miracle is that our sages have decoded them into different nakshatrams and navagrahams, and also assessed the exact location of each star and planet, their speed of rotation and the combinations, and all these they have done without any scientific device in their hand. They have done on the basis of their own intuition, and they are very, very accurate. So we should be very proud of our ancestors. In my next talk, I will cover about all the planetary motions, nakshatrams, etc. Thank you.